Welcome back, everybody. Today we're looking at Boveda packs, and specifically how to recharge them once they've run out of moisture. For those of you that don't know, and you should, Bovedas are one of the most reliable way to keep a reliable humidity in and around your cigars. What they are is they're a pack that has purified water, salts, and a thickening agent in them. And that's what gives you kind of that jelly texture to the inside. And as the pack gives off moisture by osmosis, it gets hard and crunchy, and you can kind of feel the salts in there. So I'm going to show you how I recharge my Bovedas, and I've been doing this for well over a year, and it's reliable, it keeps the packs intact, and you can use these over and over and over. So first of all, let's take a look at a brand new pack. So this is a 69% 60 gram Boveda, fresh from the factory. We're going to pull it out of here and get a measurement on it. As you can see, it's right around 61 grams. And so that's going to be our baseline. You know, a 60 gram pack has around 60 to 62 grams of water in it, fresh from the factory. And what's unique about Boveda is not only they add humidity to the air in the environment in which they are placed, but they also absorb humidity from the air in order to get you right around that 69% or 72%, 58%, whatever it is you're trying to achieve in your environment. So now that we know that a 60 gram Boveda has around 60 grams of mass to it, let's look at some of these. These are spent, they're hard as a rock. They're kind of crusty. This is an 8 gram Boveda, and it comes in at around high fours, around 5 grams. Here's a 4 gram, and it comes in at 2.2. This actually has some life left to it, but I want to experiment with some different packs. And this is a 4 gram, and it comes in right around 4 grams. So this one might actually be good, but I'm going to still throw it in there just to play around. Here is a 72% 8 gram. It's got 5 grams, and so it looks like you're losing about 20% of your mass once your moisture is evaporated off. This is from one of the nicer Fuente boxes, and I haven't been able to find a weight on this. That's the only numbers I could find on there. And I don't think it's a 75 gram pack. Let's see if I can get that a little closer, because it weighs in at 17 grams. And even though it's still got a little bit of life left in it, I can start to feel crystals. So I'm going to throw this one in too and see what happens. So how we're going to achieve this is by using a piece of Tupperware. This is the same ones I use for my Tupper doors. And what I've done is I've gone and wiped this out with 70% isopropyl alcohol just to make sure everything's nice and sterile. And then I got what they call a Flairosol bottle. This is used a lot by barbers. And I've filled this with distilled water. Very important. You don't want the minerals from tap water getting into your Bovedas. It might work short term, but long term it's just not a good idea. So I've got distilled water in here. And what I'm going to do is just spray the lid of our Tupperware and get a nice fine mist on the lid. Can actually do quite a bit. So there we go. This is what this ends up looking like. Just a nice fine mist on the inside. And I've also experimented with coating the walls of our Tupperware, but we're going to skip that this time. Just keep it simple. Then what I'll do is I'll line these up in the Tupperware, or in the Tupperware. You can hear these are hard as rocks. Just like so. We're going to leave our fresh one out. And then we just throw the lid on, and we're going to give it a couple days. And what it's going to do is create a high humidity environment in this box, and all those Bovedas are going to start absorbing that moisture and coming back to life. And so we are going to check on these in a couple days and see what happens with them. We'll see you then. And we are back. So it's been 4 days. As you can see, all of the water has been absorbed by the packs. So let's take a look at them. Definitely softer. They're not crusty anymore. I can't feel any of the salts in it. So let's measure some of these. grams. This is an 8-gram pack, so that one's perfect. Let's see, this one's a 4-gram pack. Perfect on that one. This one is another 8-gram pack. Wow, perfect. And then here's our miscellaneous brands. Looks like the Integra Boost, 4 grams. So that one's a little high. And then we have our Turo Fuente one that we have no idea what it's supposed to weigh, but I assume it's pretty close. I can still feel a little bit of crusties in there, so maybe I'll leave that one a little longer. There we go. So, quick side note, if you overdo it on these, for me it's not a big deal because I live in the desert. You know, we're sitting at 18% humidity, so if I overabsorb a little bit, it's fine because I know that the purpose of these in my humidors is to give off moisture as they lose it to the desert air. Oh, we're up to 29%, probably just because my hand's giving off a little moisture. I'll leave that up there just to hang out. Those of you that live in high humidity environments might want to even underdo it a little bit, although you probably don't have this problem if you're having to recharge your Bovedas. But if you target for the measurements that are on them, you should be good to go. And the other thing I really like about this method is it doesn't harm the paper at all. You know, some people will wrap these in like wet paper towels, or they'll just dunk them in water, and that makes the paper crumple, it makes it weak. In my opinion, it's not the way to do it. This way you're actually taking advantage of the natural process, the absorption that these do, since they're two-way humidity packs, and that way you're able to get, you know, really nice long-term, long life out of these, and I've been super happy with it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw it in the comments, and we will see you next time. Bye.